Hey guys, welcome to this session by Great Learning. My name is Anirudh and I'll be your mentor for this session on data science for beginners. But then, guys, before we begin with this session, can I get a quick yes from you all if you can see my screen fine, and of course, if you can hear my audio fine? All right, perfect. So a lot of people in the comment section say yes, so we can begin this session. Guys, welcome to this session. This will be a power pack session on data science. We're going to quickly cover up everything there is to know in case if you guys are beginners, right? Now, here are the takeaways from this particular session. We'll start out by understanding what data science is and why it is required. After that, you will be curious about knowing of how data science even works, or let's say even checking out the components of data science, right? In that particular case, when you're checking towards the components, you'll be curious about knowing what happens if you pick up a career in data science and all of that. Now, checking towards all of this, instead of wasting any more time, I would like you guys to head to the comment section. Let me know about what you think about data science. Whatever it is that you already know about data science, guys, is going to be a session which is high, which is full of high energy, high interaction and all of that. So make sure you head down to the comment section and let me know what you think about data science. Right now, coming to what data science is, let me give you a quick example. Now, let's say you and your friends, went on a vacation. Maybe you guys went on a trip or something. You and 15 of your friends. You had a lot of fun. You enjoyed the vacation. You clicked hundreds of pictures. Now, what happens is that later when you come back home, you want to upload all of these to social media. You will be stuck with a problem where you have to tag a lot of people in a lot of photos, right? That can be a daunting task. Now, the case here is that with social media of today, think about Facebook and Instagram and all of these tools. These have the capabilities to automatically tag people for you. Now, how is this done? This is done by making use of a lot of face recognition software, by making use of data science itself, right? Of course, it needs all the data to make sure it can automatically map faces and all of that. Now, it's not just this. Data science is used in another very nice application, which is weather prediction, right? This is very, very important if you're considering flight travel. And it's not only just this. Let's go back maybe 50, 60 years now. Back in the day, to predict the weather, one had to look up to the sky and say it's raining, it's sunny, it's snowing, and whatnot. Now we can predict what the weather will be like 10 years, 5 years, 5 days, 5 months, whatever it is, into the future, right? Now, how is this done? To do this, it requires a lot. Sorry. So to do this, it requires a lot of data, right? With the data at hand, it is possible to predict even what happens in the future. But now, an important application of weather prediction, at least in my opinion, is with emergency services. Now, let's say you are on a coastal vacation, you're chilling on the coast. There was an underwater earthquake. Now, when an underwater earthquake happens, the first thing that happens is the entire coast gets evacuated if there is a tsunami warning, because the resultant of an underwater earthquake is a very rapidly and raging tsunami that hits the coast. Now, if it were to be done manually, of course, there are sensors in the oceans which is going to pick all of these up. It's going to be notified to the meteorological department. They are going to sound the alarms and then evacuation begins. But with data science nowadays, this process is entirely automated. As soon as there is a quantifiable emergency at hand, it just starts sounding the alarms, because here it is a matter of life and death, right? A tsunami wave can hit the coast within minutes, literally minutes of it, right? In that particular case, it makes it extremely vital that data science in this domain does all that it can. And of course, it does it well as well. Yes, Kashyap, you are absolutely right. Huge waves leads to tsunami, and then it just brings it right into the coast, and yeah, that creates a lot of problem. Now, coming to what data science itself actually is, well, data science as a term, as a definition, literally means how one can take an entity such as data and convert it into useful information, which at the end of the day can make it useful enough for us so that we can deduce something out of it, we can ponder in it, we can find something. It's literally like a treasure trove, right? So data is literally treasure in a way. You just put your hand into it and start picking up useful stuff, right? Now let me give you another example. Think about a holiday season. Now New Year's Day is rapidly approaching, right? The 1st of January 2021 is so close. So at this moment of time, a lot of people will be buying toys, a lot of people will be buying chocolates, cakes, and all of that. Now, if you're a person who was selling this, how will you know how many customers to expect? Let's say you have 10 cakes ready and you have 100 customers. Well, you're losing money there. 90 people are going to someone else. And now you have 100 cakes, but only 10 people come in. In that case, again, you're losing 90 cakes worth of money. So what's happening? How do you assess the footfalls of your shop, for example, right? Now, to do that, if you have data from the past, you can collect all of it, assess saying, hey, last year I had these many customers come in. Now there's a good chance that this year there might be a similar number of footfalls. So based on that, you can accurately actually map what happens there. So that is another beautiful example of what data science itself is. Now, for all the people who are very curious about having a career in data science, understand this. It is one among the top 10 careers to have right now. Now, this has been set for a while, and I'm sure it's going to be set for even longer duration in the future. Why? Because it is considered to be one of the most trending computer science career ever, right? Now, in that particular case, if it is said that it is one of the most trending, not just IT career but computer science career, well, it has to have a huge impact on the society around us, right? That exactly is what data science is doing. Now, if you're taking a look at why data science is even required, let me talk to you about, again, let me take you a couple of years into the past. We have to talk about computation power, we have to talk about data. Now, in 1969, on July the 20th, humans landed on the moon. NASA placed humans on the moon, and the entire computer that powered that craft, right, it was only running on a 2 megahertz clock and around 0.004 MB of RAM in total. In this particular case, consider the data that we have today, consider the computing power we have today. 32 GB of RAM and 4 gigahertz clock is the average is the average power of what computers today have, be it laptops, computers, and whatnot, right? So the when you look at it in the last just 50 years, from 1970 to 2020, we have come a really long way in making our computers extremely fast, right? But then why do we need such quick computing? Think about the data we generate today. Even though we are only 7.5 billion people on earth today, there is 310 billion emails that get sent every single day. Yes, 310 billion. Now, if you're wondering about what happens, how much is the amount of data that we generate every day, guess what? In the entire world, for every single day, we generate 26 lakh terabytes of data, or 2.6 quintillion bytes. Now, your laptops and your computers will have a storage of maybe 500 GB, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabytes, and all this, right? Now imagine having to store 26 lakh terabytes every day. This is not like over a month or over a year. It's every single day you're going to require this much storage, right? This is, what we are trying to solve. But then to a data scientist, more the data it will be better, because if he or she is using machine learning, there's a good chance that it has a complete dependency on not just the quality of the data but the quantity of data as well. So in that case, it really helps. Okay, Vijay Sahu has a question. Data job opportunities have been decreasing fast. How can we think of entry level jobs, especially in COVID situation where so many are jobless? Sahu, make sure you are tuned in at the end of the session, the second half of the session. I am completely covering about data science and COVID-19, the situation, the jobs, and all of that as well. So make sure to stick around for another 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm going to answer all of your questions there. Right. Now, talking about the data science architecture itself, right? So how does data science work? There are five simple steps for data science, right from data acquisition all the way to driving key insights. Now, let me quickly tell you that data acquisition is a process where we bring in the data. Once you bring in the data, you have to clean it. Why do you have to clean it? Well, if you do not clean it, your machine learning algorithm will not learn it accurately, because it does not know how to differentiate between it hasn't learned anything, right? So when you have to learn something, you have to have quality material, right? That is exactly the case. Now, after a machine learning output is at hand, it'll be a series of numbers. It's going to be a matrix output. It's going to be a complex output which cannot be understood by a regular audience who are non-technical. So to make that into a perceivable output, we have data visualization. We're going to be using graphs. We're going to be using a lot of dashboards to make the data presentable by using beautiful looking and aesthetically pleasing graphs, through which, once you sit and analyze these graphs to point out where you went wrong in the past or where you want to go in the future, or whatever problem it is that you're trying to solve, with graphs you can do it better. Right now, to quickly go on to tell you guys of each of these steps individually, as I told you, step number one in the life cycle of data science is to bring in the data to the organization. Now, when you're bringing in data to the organizations, there's many things you have to think about. One, from how many places, from how many sources are you bringing in the data, right? It can be your own servers, it can be a cloud structure, it can be data from competitors, it can be data from let's say your social media platforms. Wherever it is, data is coming from multiple types, and it is multiple types of places. And it's not just that, data itself varies in multiple different varieties, right? Structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, and all of these. So whatever data comes in, it is in this step that it is handled very carefully. It is in this step that you have to make sure that data is stored, first of all, ready to use in the next step. But it also means that you have to maintain it in a secure way. Not everyone must have access to it, because sometimes data is of course, when you're thinking about privacy, when you're thinking about concerns with data, a lot of confidential information have to remain confidential, right? That is step number one. Step number two talks about how one can go on to clean data and work with it. Now, when you bring in all of these data and store it in your databases, it will be a raw entity. It will not be clean. It will consist of all information. It will consist of noise. It will consist of probably more of information than noise, but this noise will definitely affect the next stage. So it is your job at this point of time to clean it. Make sure to do it, because without which your machine learning algorithms will find it extremely difficult, and it will just basically give you an inaccurate output, right? Once data is cleaned, we come to step number three. All right, so we have a question. Ayush Jain, does data science include AI in it? Of course, Ayush. Artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, all of these are in the same umbrella, in the same structure as data science. So when I say data science, yes, artificial intelligence is definitely included in it. Right, coming to step number three. Now, machine learning, right? So machine learning actually talks about how one can go on to train machines, and how one can go on to, let machines do the job without their intervention, right? So it's the capacity of these machines to learn without human intervention. But as I told you, it is very important at this point of time that your data is of high quality and even a good amount of quantity as well, because based on that is how machine learning works well. Now, you as a person have been trained from your childhood to know what a dog looks like, what a cat looks like, but a machine learning algorithm does not. You have to show it high quality pictures of cats and dogs for it to realize what a cat looks like and what a dog looks like, right? Now, Considering that it eventually it will learn and give you an output, correct, but as I told you, this output might not be perceivable by all. Now, to convey it to everyone, you have to have a skill. It's basically how you tell stories. It's literally an art of how you can tell stories, right? Now, very important that you understand that when you show images, when it is perceivable 3000 times faster than text. Yes, this is literally how the human brain works, right? So why would you not want to do it? Because with this is like the step before the result. This is literally, you would sit and analyze graphs, and that will give you the result. Right now, with the result, what are we doing? With the result, first of all, we're solving the problems. You're trying to see where you can go in the future. You're trying to see where things went wrong in the past. What performance indicators might be working fine, what are not, why is something gone wrong, and all of that, right? So key insights, this is exactly the final step in the entire process of data science. Now, it's not just this. Once you understand all of this, you will be curious about knowing what are the components of data science, what makes data science what it is, right? There, I have to talk to you about four important components: the data set, the programming language, the user interface, and the problem itself. Yes, the problem is a component. I'll tell you why. Now, thinking about data set, right? Data literally means, it is literally the first name of data science, correct? Without data, there is no data science. So, having data sets where using this data, you're going to train your machine learning algorithms and all of that is very important. So, data forms to be literally the foundational pillar. And it's not just data being data, it's about the quality of data, it's about the quantity of data, and the ability of how you can clean the data itself. Because if you have an amazing data set which is raw and unclean and full of errors, it still doesn't make sense. So you have to clean it, and I hope you guys are understanding of my emphasis on data cleaning, because it literally is very, very important. Now, after that, the second question that you guys will have is, do you require programming for data science? My answer to that is yes, because programming is very important, right? See, with the concepts of mathematics and statistics, you will make use of you will know how to solve the problem, but to teach you machine how to do it, you have to convey that. Now, to convey that, you're going to use programming languages, right? For data science, there are two extremely popular offerings, which is Python and R. R is mainly for data analytics. It's a beautiful language. I've been working with R for the last couple of years, and with Python as well. Python is the number one programming language in today's world, right? So when you ask me if programming is necessary, I will rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 at 9. I'm going to say it's 9 on 10 important, because it literally is something that's going to make it or break it in this particular field, of course, because when you're working with machine learning, you are going to require the knowledge of how you can convey stuff to your machine, push data there, get a valuable result out. Coming to the third component, right? Now, with the third component, we're talking about how you can use the programming language itself. Now, with Python, let's say there's many IDEs or integrated development environments where you can write Python code in. These are softwares. Why would you want to use an IDE? Is because it will offer you multiple advantages. One, the newer generation IDEs can even predict what is the code that you're typing as and when you're typing it. Secondly, it's going to help you with debugging. It's going to help you with exception handling. It's going to help you it'll basically help you invest your time better into the logic of the problem, rather than breaking your head about syntax, breaking your head about all of these things, right? So it is very, very important that you use a good IDE that helps you work with your programming language better, because if you do that, at the end of the day, you will have better performance in terms of code, and you will have better performance in terms of your own efficiency in writing the code as well. Right, now coming to component number 4. Component number 4 is something which is very important, because it's the problem itself. The first step of you solving a problem literally means you have to know that there is a problem that exists. Once you know that a problem exists is when you can solve it, right? Now, in that particular case, having a problem brings out a lot of approaches in you. As a data scientist, you should be thinking about more than one approach to solve a problem. Now, this comes naturally if you guys are very much interested in data science, because that problem solving approach is important here. And with this problem solving approach, you can actually solve problems quicker with the remaining remaining components. Now that you know the architecture itself, you can actually go on to work and understand how basically it works even in production systems as well, right? And now coming to a very important discussion where you guys are curious about a career in data science. Now, who is a data scientist, guys? A data scientist is a person he or she is basically a 4-in-1 person, right? He or she should be a mathematician first of all, because I'm sure you guys already know there's a lot of statistics and mathematics involved in data science. And then he or she should be a trend spotter to know what the current trends are, to know what the best tools, techniques, logic and all of that are. Right now, once you are a trend spotter and you know mathematician, you can use these skills to solve a problem. The next step is to you actually put all of this down into programs and solve it, right? But okay, first three things are amazing. Now, a business manager's role, why is it required? I'm sure you guys are curious, right? A business manager's role is very important because the first three will talk about how you can solve the problem itself. Now, the business manager's role is extremely important in a way to make sure that the problem that's been solved by the first three aspects of it aligns with the business unit, right? Now, you can solve a problem in 2 days, but let's say your requirement is to solve it in 1 day. That is where a business manager, data scientist himself is going to say, okay, 2 days is not going to work. I have to solve it in 1 day, right? Perfect. Now, for all the guys who are very, very curious about what happens, in this particular generation, in this particular year where everything's unpredictable, COVID-19 has happened, a lot of people were losing their jobs. One thing about data science I really have to appreciate is it's a bulletproof domain, right? It's not just me. It's like I associate with thousands of people in a way where all these people who have been in data science, a minuscule amount of them have been laid off due to due to the pandemic, especially in March and April and all of that, right? But 9.9 out of 10 people who still hold data science jobs weren't even affected in a slight bit because of how important it is. Now, instead, you literally cannot start firing data scientists out of a company, because now if you have one data scientist, you will require three more. That is exactly the situation in the world. So why would you want to fire the one that you have, right? There is amazing demand. There is literally a huge demand for expert data science people out there right now. And you already know how artificial intelligence is booming, and you already know machine learning has been amazing to bring about so many nice applications, right? It's not all of this. One important thing is data science in the domain of healthcare is amazing, because here is exactly where it's actually playing a huge part, guys. Now, after this session, right, I want you guys to head to a Google search, and I want you guys to look at data science in healthcare, because that is something that's amazing, and you might find some interesting stuff. Right, guys? So we have a lot of people watching this particular session, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you are an amazing audience to teach. But then, guys, if you are liking everything that you're seeing on the screen, if you are loving how we present content and teach you guys, I would highly suggest you show your support by hitting the like button, right? So we have around 100 viewers watching, yet only 30 likes. Come on, guys, let's hit that like button. It will basically help us to bring you better content. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Great Learning YouTube channel, because once you subscribe, you can be in touch with all the amazing content we put out. Right. Next thing you'll be curious about is how you can work from home. Now, you have to understand 2021 is 3 days away, and all of the big companies, small companies, whoever it is, now everyone knows that until the vaccine comes out, there's a good chance a large part of the workforce is going to work from home, and a lot of people are okay with working from home. It is some people even prefer working from home because they don't have to travel 3-4 hours a day, right? Data science is so stable. It is showing long-term stability and growth in a way where even if you're sitting from home, working from home, it literally will not affect your problem solution approach as well. One important thing I have to tell you guys here is to make sure that you guys know how many job postings are there, right? Guess what? For every 10 jobs that are being posted for data scientists, a data scientist role, 7 of these are asking for someone with 0 to 3 years of experience. Now in that particular case, all of you guys who might be freshers, someone who's changing domains, careers, whatever it is, you have the capability, you have the exposure to get yourself one out of those 7 jobs for every 10 that has been posted. Right now there are thousands of jobs that are posted, 70% of maybe 5,000 or 10,000 jobs. Think about the amazing outreach you have from this domain itself, right? With all of that, you'll be curious saying, okay, my designation, will it only be a data scientist role if I pick up data science? The answer to that is no, because in data science there are actually 4 domains you can pick up. One is data analysis, you have business analysis, you have data engineering, you have business intelligence analysis, and all of that, right? So these 4 designations, a data scientist's role, a data analyst's role, a data engineer's role, and a BI analyst's role, are extremely popular in the field of data science itself. Now guys, I'm sure you're all curious about how you can go on to learn data science online, right? My genuine advice for you all is to not be confused, not be overwhelmed, first of all, because there is so much data online right now. You have thousands of videos, thousands of blogs, thousands of articles. It can get very, very confusing, and you might not be able to go through with your dream of finishing starting a career in data science and becoming an expert. So to avoid all of this, make sure you're working in a structured way. Make sure that you are talking to experts. For example, I am an expert in data science, artificial intelligence, Python, neural networks, and all of this. So when you tune into these sessions, which are held by us experts, you can have a complete picture of what's going on in the industry and understand with the knowledge that we provide to you guys. So always talk to experts. Make sure that you do not get confused with all the articles that are present online. Take it slow, take it easy, take it structured, and all the people who have tuned in right now, I can give you a guarantee that you guys can work towards becoming an expert in data science, because as I told you, it's an amazing domain where you can, if you put in the right time and effort, no matter what domain you're from. Right now I have a couple of questions saying I'm from EC background, I am from chemical background, and all that. It doesn't matter, guys. Now if you enroll in the Great Learning Academy courses we have for data science, in the foundations course, you will not require any sort of prerequisites. No matter what domain you're coming from, you can actually learn well, right? So I hope that answers your question, Ardhendu and Sanjeevani, right? You do not have to be a computer science engineer to start a career in data science. Does it help? Well, yes, it will give you a quick start, but even though you do not have it, it is not necessary. Right, now coming to where the free content, where you can access free content. You already know Great Learning Academy. We have hundreds of courses there taught in multiple languages. Make sure you're there, you pick up these courses, enroll in them, finish them, upon which you will be given a course, basically a certificate of completion as well. All of this for free. Then you have the Great Learning YouTube channel and Great Learning blogs, where you can learn a lot of content for free. We keep publishing a lot of videos on the YouTube channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the Great Learning YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell icon, because without which it becomes difficult for you guys to stay in touch with the channel, right, for all the videos. So make sure you check out Great Learning Academy. Make sure you check out the Great Learning YouTube channel, and for all the readers, you can read the blogs. Now coming to one important aspect, if you guys are very serious about your career, right, now all these free content, it'll start you up with all the knowledge that you require. But if you're very serious about your career, I would highly suggest you check out the post-graduation offerings and specializations we provide here at Great Learning. Right now we have multiple post-graduation programs and Masters of Science programs in collaboration with some of the most prestigious universities and Ivy League schools across the world. All of these programs are taught by subject matter experts, professors, and highly knowledgeable and coveted people across the globe. Now the advantage of this is, at the end of the day, you will go completely from being a beginner to a complete expert, because again, hey, it's a post-graduation program. It's a master's degree from prestigious universities that you guys will have as well. Of course, these are just some of the offerings that I've mentioned on screen. If you go to the Great Learning website, You will see in depth about what you're going to learn from these courses, programs, what's your takeaway. There's a lot of things you can get. So I would highly suggest that you guys head to the Great Learning website to check out more on these graduation, post-graduation offerings and specialization courses. Right, guys. Okay. So Saurav says I have no degree, and Prem Kumar says, sir, eligibility. Well, as I just mentioned, guys, I already answered this question, right? You do not require any sort of eligibility. You just need a good amount of time. You need to put in structured efforts to start learning. If you start from the basics, no matter where you are in your career right now, school, college, engineering, you guys can get started with it. You guys can get started with it and work with it to take it slowly as well. Okay, perfect. Superb, guys. You have been an amazing audience. As always, it's a pleasure to be teaching all of you all. Thank you so much for tuning in for this session of data science for beginners. As always, I'll see you on the next one. Until then, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you take all the required measures against the pandemic, guys. All right, guys. Cheers. Have a nice day ahead.